Hey y'all, it is mid-December, but it is a beautiful 70-degree weekend all over the South. And unfortunately I couldn't get out yesterday, and I barely made it out today. It's Sunday afternoon, and I went to a park that is pretty close to me, Pilot Mountain State Park. And what I'm gonna do today is hike basically all of the trails in the main section of the park. And there's a big loop around the base of the mountain that includes the mountain trail and the Grindstone Trail. And then there's a couple trails on top of the mountain around all the cliffs. And this is the longest trail, the longest hike you can take in the mountain section of the state park. There's also a river section near the Yadkin River, but I've never been there. It doesn't really appeal to me as much as the actual mountain itself does. And the visitor center was full where I parked, but I've been hiking at least 15 minutes on the mountain trail and I haven't seen one person yet. So I'm not sure where everyone went. I think a lot of people are cycling up and down the mountain today, but it's still really nice outside even though it's already 2 in the afternoon. So I'm looking forward to getting to the top. I think this hike is going to be a little bit longer than anticipated. I looked at the new map and they had a different version of the mountain trail than they have in the past, where they extended it almost to the Grindstone campground. But I assume that even though it wasn't on the map, that there would be that connector between the mountain trail and the Ledge Springs Trail. And that was my original plan. But I think I'm already past that point. I don't remember seeing any signs. So what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to hike almost all the way down to the Grindstone campground and then have to hike up the Grindstone Trail and then back down. And so I have to do almost the entire length of the Grindstone Trail twice. I'm not really sure why, even though they built this new extended version of the mountain trail, why they wouldn't have a nice little connector to the ledge spring, because I could hear the climbers only a few hundred feet above me on the cliffs, so it wasn't that far. Oh well, my only worry is I forgot my headlamp and it's a little past 3 o'clock. And I have probably 6 or 7 miles to go. So hopefully I can finish before it gets too dark. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to use the cell phone as my light. Given how close we are to the upper parking lot, I'm surprised I have this huge clip all to myself right now. This is just off the Grindstone Trail and Upper Ledge Spring Trail, and there is basically 50 feet to the side of the trail. There's just a series of cliffs with tons of rock climbing routes. This is probably the biggest open cliff. But, I mean, I'm probably 200, 300 feet from the upper parking lot. So if you just want to drive up here, really easy access. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Basically, this view is mostly south, a little west. I can see it, but some of the front ranges of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the distance, but I'm not sure if it'll show up on the camera. Right now I'm on the Jomeokee Trail around Big Pinnacle, the tallest point of Pilot Mountain. And it's just a loop trail around the base of these 150 foot cliffs. But you're not allowed to climb on them. There's no summit trail to the top because it's a nationally protected bird sanctuary, I think for falcons, which would make a lot of sense. But it's still a really cool trail. That last video, there's a lot of people there, but that was the Little Pinnacle overlook, which is like the edge of the cliffs, and it had a great view of the Soratown Mountains behind Big Pinnacle. The ones in the farthest back at that view was Moore's Knob and Cook's Wall at Hanging Rock State Park. It was just a really cool trail. Really enjoy it. Got a really nice view here of the interstate below and Soratown Mountain, Moore's Knob, and Cook's Wall. It was a great hike for the winter since all the trees are pretty bare. And you'll always get these enormous 150 foot cliffs. Honestly, you could spend a ton of time just wandering around the base of Big Pinnacle and the Jomeokee Trail, but I didn't have time. I had to book it. The sun's going down and I still have probably 3 miles left, but still really nice. I'm on the lower section of the Ledge Spring Trail, and it's pretty much a lot of the same as the Jomeokee Trail. The cliffs aren't as big and there's more trees, but still really nice, and this is where all the climbing routes are. But compared to Big Pinnacle, these cliffs just aren't as big, aren't as impressive to me. Still very nice. Like if you like cliffs, this is definitely the state park for you. It's about half of my hike, really.